Welcome back to some professional StarCraft 2, the ESL Open Cup Finals on the server, you guessed it, North America. Let me introduce one of the most exciting Protoss players you've never seen. Rumor has it, people are saying he may in fact be a golden retriever. But the Danish Protoss, one of the youngest players in SC2, extra points for the golden retriever idea, I'm just saying. Of course. It is MaxPax's. With hard-hitting strategies, clever timings, and a tendency to focus so much on the early game, going up against one of the most experienced players in all of StarCraft 2. He's probably been playing StarCraft longer than MaxPax's has been alive. Of course, we'll have to include Brood War some, but I assume he did play. It is the final boss. It's Dark. He seems to be the most flexible Zerg player. He doesn't care how many hatcheries, doesn't care how many drones. He's just going to go about his business. He's going to live surprisingly long, and sometimes he'll turn it all around. You can't really pin down a particular style for Dark. It really does feel like he does whatever comes to mind. In fact, I think he's a little bit like MaxPax's in that. But MaxPax's definitely has some strategies planned out. Every Protoss, every deck builder Protoss does, is in these best of fives especially. MaxPax's became known, like, the reason MaxPax's was even known originally was because of the MaxPax's build, where in all his genius and wisdom, he realized you can just, instead of building a gateway on your side of the map, you can just build it on the other side of the map. And minds were blown! Of course, he's graduated past just that strategy and just that matchup, but we'll have to see what he has in store. No gateways on the other side of the map. The probe scout coming in. And with the nerf to queen walks, but also void rays, we've been seeing a lot of experimentation. I'd love to see experimentation, if you know what I mean. Changing up the meta, shifting the tech tree. A whole lot of, well, Twilight Council, Robo, and with it on the other side, Mutalisks and other clever timings. It has opened up a whole new side of Protoss versus Zerg, though I'm not convinced we figured that out yet. We may just land on Stargate still being the best option. I wouldn't be surprised. So two Zerglings just kind of get in. While MaxPax's, alright, this is classic MaxPax's. All his units are on the other side of the map, and he actually handles the Zerglings just fine. He's lost two probes. One of them was the scouting probe. Adept also in the main. Dark, he lost two drones, but he killed both adepts, so handled it about as calmly as you ever could there. Dark's not gonna let that be a game-ending... Oh, well, this is awkward. Yeah. Two Zerglings at a time can hit. He's even juggling the Zerglings in a bit. He's gonna need to build a gate behind, right? No, that's not... Okay. Bit of an awkward wall-off. He's trying to bait MaxPax's into building the Adepts to trap him. Alright. So Dark, with just a handful of Zerglings, creates drama on the other side of the map. Kills a Stalker. Always fun. So now what? It's a relatively clear Glaive's timing. I believe... Wait, Dark got in with Zerglings, but he didn't scout the main with the Zerglings, which... I guess based on the number of Adepts being built, you already have a good idea of the trajectory of the build. What he doesn't know is whether there's a Robo for a Warp Prism. He's looked around for proxy pylons. Does he have any Spore Crawlers? He does not, but there are no Dark Templar, so... I think he's convinced himself correctly. It's going to be a bunch of Adepts. And look at the worker count. Just 33 drones. And adding a few more for Dark, but it's not free building Zerglings. It does cost you that larva. Wow, the Adept range. And MaxPax's realizing with a Spine Crawler and only a handful of drones at the third, maybe not the best idea to commit right now. Robotics Bay. He's going right for the Ruptors. understanding that roaches will likely be the follow-up. Dark still on kind of an awkward economy. This is the weird part about playing against two base Protoss. You don't know how committed exactly they are, especially if you don't go Overlord speed, which is an investment in and of itself. You don't know if it's 6 gates and a Dark Shrine or he wants to take a third, but we're gonna find out soon enough. The Adepts are fighting. The front line, 1 Queen slaughtered, but the rest holding. Adepts just kind of wandering back, picks up into the prism. Dark sneaks a few more drones. Still no lair. All right, now a lair. As both sides will realize it's not going to end now. Both of them respecting the armies on the field and realizing they can't really attack. So, on one side, the Adept drop, yeah, that's optimistic. On the Adept drop, but Dark has Ravager Zergling, which, while there's going to be a disruptor or two, well, there's a big difference between 1 and 2 disruptors right now, actually. This is the time when that matters, as 1 good disruptor hit could turn the tides of an attack. 2 disruptors makes it almost impossible for Dark to get anything done. And here's the thing about Dark. He's chilling, all right? Dark, probably the most, honestly, sometimes too chill. He's perfectly willing to just sneak out a few more drones. Eventually he'll take a 4th, but he's not rushing it. Shield battery's working overtime on these probes. Meanwhile, though, the Raptor looking for a shot splits the Queens. MaxPax's coming in with the danger ball timing. There's another Raptor, fires the shot. Oh, he gets 2 out of 3 Ravagers. Not a bad take there. The Adepts trying to fight forward. Corrosive Bow's doing surprisingly well. The Shades continue and do not cancel into the main. More drones vulnerable. And this is going to leave us in an awkward spot with the Zerglings breaking through somewhat at the back. But at the same time, MaxPax's doing appreciable damage to Dark, who's losing even more drones to the Glaive Adepts. So, as we continue to punch each other in the face here, fires a couple shots, looking for the drones, play Ring Around the Spine Crawler, one of the most dangerous of children's games. And where does that leave us? A bit of a mess. The Zerglings didn't kill that many probes, 11 down against 16 drones. The Disruptors need to fly back home, but it is a speed prism. Corrosive Biles coming out, Disruptors landed, fires a shot. No target fire there, only clips a couple roaches. There's not that many units. Here's a Colossus added to the variety pack. The probes are trying to get involved, fires another shot. The roaches just gonna take it. 3 kills, still more roaches. Nexus under attack. Sentry gonna go there. That Dark is just streaming units across. He's got a Spire as well, because even if no, you got, okay, all right. He finishes off the Nexus. Dark just kind of waddles over and smothers MaxPax's army. And that's the downside of trading away all your Adepts, is suddenly you don't actually have anything. This is some very optimistic Warp Prism play here. As 2 Queens getting involved, the Speed Prism barely skirts away. And now, it's Muta time. Dark has only 50 drones, but he's banked up nearly 1,000 gas as the Spire is finishing. He's taken his 4th as well. And Dark fully willing to play this low economy Zerg. And MaxPax has an observer spotting everything, and it's giving him the wrong impression. This many roaches and Ravagers, it really feels like, okay, he's just going to continue with this, like, Ravager Ling style. Though, as time goes on and Dark doesn't move across the map, I think he's got to realize a Spore Crawler sneaks up on the observer and takes it down. Dark is holding on to the Mutas. He's going to work his way around the south side. He could reveal them to the Prism. I think it'd be worth it for 2. Yep. Oh, no. Oh! Usually the best Disruptor shots are the first and the last. And MaxPax, with the fadeaway shot, lands it on like a dozen Roaches and Ravagers. Yeah, those cannons are a bit on the late side, and by that I mean all those probes are dead. Now comes the hard part. Do you attack? Because if you stay, you're going to be in trouble. But if you attack, the likelihood could be twice as much. The mutas are growing in number greater than the rate the stalkers are. And stalkers aren't even much of a counter to mutas. They kind of deflect them instead of destroy them. Without phoenixes or enough archons, you're buying yourself time mostly here. And Dark, sitting on 60 drones. 60 drones, fine. That's a great economy. Look at MaxPax's, 40 props. So many Zerg players have this reflex of like, well, I need to get to 80 drones, and that's the number. Dark, he's happy to get to 60. He's calling it, he has plenty of units, and there's no reason he needs to get greedy. Is he going with the double flock? Oh my god. All right, calm down, Jadong. The double mutapacks. Targeting probes before the shield battery finishes, make it like, even with the overcharge, it's not enough. Dark getting a little fancy over here. Just sending everything back, because it's kind of clear at this point we're heading towards the big all-in. And that's, honestly, with 24 mutas on the field, +1 for both the mutas and the Protoss ground army. It's not good. The thing is, MaxPax's can't really wait. It's not going to get any better. There's no other tech on the way. There's no upgrades. Every moment he waits is just Dark building more units and more likely to kill him. Blinking forward. Blunks the rest. Actually picks off a few roaches. Like, Dark could just go for the straight-up base trade. He targets the cyber core. Dark isn't even gonna bother. All right. Well. Dark just gives him the runaround. MaxPax's just gives up. They're also giving here. Well, yep, that's Dark in a nutshell. The path of least resistance. And there was very little resistance. MaxPax's tried to out-aggression him. But, Dark thrives in this situation. It's so weird to watch him because he plays wrong. Okay, I'm gonna say it. You're playing incorrectly, Dark. Don't you know you're supposed to fight the army and go lurkers or... No. We're not supposed to make mutas anymore. But, well, there you go. I do like when I commit to saying things like, we're trying out Twilight, we're trying out Robo, but that also opens up the Mutalist, and then it happens, and then the next game I spend more time talking about how smart I am. Like, those are my favorite games. So, like and subscribe if you agree. Game 2. Yep. It still holds true that for Zerg players, the only places you're allowed to expand are their natural or your third, or on Pride of Eltaris, the gold base. But otherwise, that's it. That's it. That's the end of the list. MaxPax's sent the probe out quick enough to block. It's just reality now. All right. The dance. Nexus on the way. The awkward wall-off. So how does he handle it on 2,000 atmospheres? Because it's actually a slightly smaller wall-off area, which makes geometry slightly more complicated, but technically should be easier to have a wall. Don't worry, I still screw it up every single time. I love how no one does this, by the way. No one does this. No one follows the probe with a drone. Come on. Like, maybe if the probe is poking them. Dark's just like, nah. I don't like probes. Never have. Never will. MaxPax slightly annoyed, leaves the base, seeing exactly what he expected to see. Overlord. There's a Twilight kind of hidden in the main. Do we got a Stalker queued up after this? Is he actually trying to escape? An scapegoat, if you would. He's got a Stalker queued up. Dark. Gonna scout about half the base. He doesn't want to lose the Ovi, but like... in my advanced age, I look to Dark to learn how to play Zerg. Like, well, eventually, he's hiding the Ovi. But I mean, the Stalker's gonna come back. I'm here. Alright. He'll eventually scout it. Oh! Body block. The Zergling's actually helping to block the drone from becoming a spore crawler. Every drone's dream. Oh my god, but the probe blocking the Stalker. Not that it's going to matter. So this should be Adept Glaives. It is Dark Shrine. It looks very much like Adept Glaives. Robo, Twilight. Of course, Adept Glaives has never precluded the Dark Shrine. It's just usually you start with the Adepts and follow up with the DTs when they're convinced it's not DTs in the ultimate next level mind game. But, turning that all around, we'll go DTs first. And we'll see if the Twilight has anything else to do with this game. I assume it will, but it doesn't necessarily mean Glaives. Alright, so, does Dark call the bluff? It's not a bluff, actually. Does he think it's a bluff? Because there's no... He's building a couple spores now. He has yet to start a lair. The Dark Shrine is finishing. Alright, 3 spore crawlers. He's acknowledging the potential for Dark Templar. That is... Oh. Get off my... He's gonna see the DTs, or more accurately, not see them. But Max... No! What a disaster! You know what? That's probably worth it. He lost the Prism. But... losing 1 or 2 queens to kill the Prism, this ends here. He's just gonna stay in the no detection land. If you can't see me, you can't kill me, which is technically accurate. The safety hug on the spore. Will he get a second deet? No. Meanwhile, Adepts in the main, still being very annoying. Still no lair from Dark, despite 307... Alright, thank you, Dark. Moves the spore for... I'm not entirely sure why. Anyways, moves the spore. So that was not a clean defense, and it was not a clean attack. It was messy. Who comes out on top? On paper, I think Dark just shutting that down so quickly has an advantage, but MaxPax expanded to his third before the attack started. So the fact that he has a third and he has such a probe count, as well as an Archon drop, with the late lair, you can't really punish the Prism. Like, the Archon Prism is essentially untouchable unless he flies it into Queens, which there is precedent for. And back at home, if there's enough units, until the lair finishes, you don't have an Overseer. So there's really no way Dark can do damage, and he doesn't have a great economy either. Oh yeah, the Prism is everything. Queens found the 1 unit thicker than them. Nope. Okay, alright. MaxPax, 1 job. 1 job. You already failed once. If he loses another Prism, especially if the Archons are in it, he does not deserve to win this game, just to be clear. To Mutas, maybe, as the Spire is on the way. But to Queens, no, that is unacceptable. Dark, 6 more OVs on the way. A bit of a supply block. Evolution Chamber, an afterthought. The Archon still being very annoying. Always surprisingly little range. I think the observer got taken out. Alright. It's still happening. Will he notice the spire? Alright, Max. He just keeps, like, ignoring the prism. And it's stressing me out. Yes, there are Zerglings on the other side, but... what am I watching? He wants him to shoot... Oh my god. Stop it. What are you doing? He likes to live dangerously. I think he noticed, he panic moved, and it almost walked it right back into it. Well, at least the prism's falling back. MaxPax's coming out with a pretty strong army, and he hasn't lost the prism. The mutas are out. There is no defense back at home. At least not yet. I think he's starting to realize. Well, and here we go again. This time, though, MaxPax's has a much more capable army. They're gonna juggle the Archons. Another one badly bruised. He just kind of loses it. These are Blink Stalkers. Mutas in the natural. Zerglings on the fourth. But the main attack blunks forward. Warp Prism warping in another round of Stalkers, committing to the forward attack. Meanwhile, Adepts in the natural. 6 probes down. The mutas continue ransacking the economy. Both sides going to be losing so much blunks over the top. The Ravagers surrounded by Blink Stalkers. Drones off the line. Corrosive biles across the board. Archon doing its best. The drones helping to take a lot of damage. MaxPax's losing more probes in the main. Blink Stalkers forced into retreat. Adepts still intact at the natural. Dark transfers drones back. A bit of a mistake. Blunks forward again. I don't know why we're going forward. Meanwhile, the Adepts still getting damage. Workers being slaughtered on both sides. The Warp Prism still has some HP. Okay, the mutas got 31 probes, which is devastating, terrible, terrible damage. MaxPax's did not do enough to justify that. He did not stop the bleeding in time, and he pushed a little too far forward. Dark, well, that was a bit of greedy with the mutas. He's gonna, well, he gets a couple more, but he's tied up so many Stalkers back at home. Meanwhile, Roaches countered by 1 DT. Oh yeah, remember those? I don't think, he doesn't have a Templar Archives. These are all DT Archons, which are pretty mineral heavy, though slightly less gas than the High Templar Archons. 3 mutas, no cannon, 3 Stalkers, they're trying to blink in. Dark realizes. The 4th base wasn't killed, which is kind of surprising, considering, you know, everything. More mutas. Zergling attack upgrade is completed. Roaches and Ravagers coming in. There goes the 4th, trying to fight with the Broodlings. There's still a whole lot of Stalkers here. Meanwhile, at the natural, blocked out by the handful of Stalkers MaxPax's left. 7 drones went down with that base. There's still a few sitting in the corner. What is the muta count? 13. Dark has... Alright, he's just... And away we go! Well, he's decided he no longer wants to fight because Protoss units are too strong. And I mean, this may be the right call, as here we go again. Oh my. Well, goes straight for the shield battery. There's not nearly enough. And I don't think that's enough of a recall. A bit of a mess out here. Corrosive biles. There's only 1 Ravager. The rest of the units are kind of coming home. The Zerglings are going to help out a lot. Anything to tank damage. The mutas, I'm not entirely sure what I'm watching right now, but here are the mutas again. Stalkers starting to lose a lot of their HP. Dark just rally across the map. 20 probes down. Back into the main. Dark, a bit of a misclick. Losing more Roaches. He still has 55 drones, but he's stuck on 2 hatcheries, which is, you know, not enough. The muta count is whittled down. The army supply is gonna make things very difficult here. Yeah, well, MaxPax's takes this one as Dark once again tries to sidestep the whole fighting the army part. But not this time. Not this time. Well, here we go. Some scrappy games is the best caster word I can come up with to describe them. All tied up. Game 3. We got casters missing. Well, I'm here, so it's all right. I'll allow the game to go on. Executive authority. I feel like they won't. We will see, though. And well, here's the probe. Dark didn't even bother. Just sent it directly to the third, accepting the situation. Easy come, easy go. Will he send the drone? I do love how he just sends the drone out. Like, just spitting in the face of both the probe and efficiency. Annoying this probe is worth more than whatever minerals that drone could be mining. That is the decision he's made, and I appreciate Dark for that. You can't put a value on fucking over a probe's day. Priceless. Ah! Oh, yeah. Try it, MaxPax's. We don't like your kind around here. How far are we chasing it? Are you prepared to go all the way? Away we go. Take me to your people. Ah! Don't look at me. They go their separate ways. It was never going to be. They come from two different families who've been at war. Though, descended from the same families. And they argue over who was the, quote, firstborn all the time. And think they're superior because of it. It's a long-standing issue. We're not going to get into it here. Well. An adept. Will we see a start? What? A second gate? A third? Is this just a gateway push? Who does that? The Zergling's trying to sneak by. Meanwhile, the adept finds kills. Dark never keeps the Zerglings at home, and the adepts keep killing drones. I wonder if those two things are related. Oh wait, Dark's just doing a Zergling all-in. Against MaxPax's, who's doing a gateway all-in. We've chopped the tech tree off at the knees. Unfortunately, though, it appears that random Zerglings before Warp Gate are going to be a superior move. Yeah, the Twilight's on the way, but this was intended to be like just a big adept play. Zergling speed is done, so MaxPax's kind of with the blind counter here. Because if you go for anything but gateways, you'll just have probably not enough units to deal with this. Warp Gate barely finishes. The Cyber Core... Okay, so now this is a little awkward, because with no Cyber Core, you can't warp in units that shoot over your wall. Dark is just still holding down the Z key on the other side here. Is this worth it? He's gonna go for the pylon. I mean... So it's 19 drones. You kind of just got to keep going. There's no exit strategy here. Well, I guess Baneling Nest. We'll see if MaxPax's respects the commitment. He's actually sending units out. I think he's underestimating the commitment to the Zerglings from Dark. This is a huge mistake. And he used his recall on the first Adept. There's no chance of retreat. Whittling down the army is the best thing Dark could hope for. One Adept escapes to tell a horrible tale of how much of a cheesy Zerg Dark is. 17 drones! There is no follow-up, MaxPax. You need to respect these. This is all he has. Well, the Adepts are going to try to get whatever they can. Hopefully not committing too much. He sees the Banelings. He sees the Banelings. Where are you going? You saw the Banelings. Are you insane? I guess maybe... I don't... What are we doing? Oh my, he just busts down the door. The Adepts... I guess we're base trading, but the childhood flashback version. Oh, that's the best joke I could make. It's a hectic game. Where did the Adepts go? They came home. He definitely saw the Banelings were on his screen, so I'm confused as to why the Adepts were not still on his screen right as the Banelings came in. But here we are. The Adepts try to juggle back. The Nexus is still intact. Everything else is gone at the natural. There's still some gateways. It's glaived Adepts, so only the Banelings are a real threat. But they are quite a threat. Oh, he tries to juggle back. He's force fielding with Banelings. Dark is now droning because MaxPax finds himself in the same scenario Dark did in the previous game, which is you have all these workers and nowhere to put them. Long distance mining. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you have 40 workers if you only have one Nexus. So, Zerglings, of course, the long-distance mining probes, vulnerable. We're so early in the game, MaxPax still has full mining in his bank. So right now, well, a bunch of the probe count getting cut down to size, a whole bunch of Adepts. Are we really doing this again? Okay, here come the Banes into the main. Adepts on the other side. The probes on the run, but trapped in a prison of their own design. The probe count now no longer a concern for MaxPax. The concern is not being super dead, as he has not respected this attack. 2 probes. Meanwhile, the Adepts, though, how does this end? This madness. That's the final probe. He can build 1 more. No, wait, he can build 3 more. I was just assuming he'd warp something in. The production tab is empty. The units tab, well, there's only so many buildings. Wait. Dark taps it out. He's just assuming he can't kill the buildings in time. Honestly, I don't know if that's the call. I mean, there is a recall as well, and there's not enough Zerglings to deal with it, I'll be honest. So, it's very likely MaxPax could have recalled with even half his army and still cleaned it up. And that's what Dark was anticipating. But I feel like you gotta let him do it before you tap out, Dark. Come on. Like, you gotta wait for the recall. Maybe he'll forget it exists. Or he'll panic and miss-micro it. Or you can kill the knight. Like, I'm giving that a bit of a yellow card for Dark. I know you're up late for the North American tournament. You got this far, but, like, play it out. The game before, I don't blame him. But this game, a little early. Like, you gotta let him recall. But still, this is a, what the technical term for these games are, each of them could be described as a clusterfuck. So here we are. Another one. MaxPax actually on match point. It has tilted in his favor, the scrappiness of these matches. I can't believe that MaxPax sent all his Adepts out of his base seconds before the Banelings he scouted. Well, this is why no one Baneling busts anymore, is because the efficiency is just not there. Dark He kind of felt like he pulled that out of the nostalgia chest as a strategy that used to do something, but now is... Jimmy, can we go to the game? All right, the people want to know. Is there a probe headed across? Yes, of course there is. Is it for cannon rushing? Probably not. But I can't rule it out. Aw. A gateway. Though, at this point, I think MaxPax has realized... Just... Don't overcommit, okay? Dark seems to be fully willing to just tap out. That was a bit early, I think. Even though it was very likely going to be a MaxPax win. Just let him overcommit. Easy come, easy go for Dark. This is probably the third ESL Cup he's played in today. It's not unlikely he won, or at least was in the finals of the other ones, too. No. I'm loving the drone. I'm loving the security drone. The bouncer. Okay. I'm gonna keep a close eye on you, probe. No funny business. None of that. No tonguing my minerals. Get your filthy nano machines off of my goddamn minerals. Get out of here. All right, you are no longer allowed on the I might be just as fast as you, but you're no faster than me. Yeah, turn it around. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, we don't like your kind around here. None of that. And we'll now be mining from what is the natural. Is it Stargate time for MaxPax? We haven't... That's the one card in the Protoss deck that we have yet to see. He didn't start the gas that early. So it's looking like a Twilight. I kind of want to know what that multi-gate strat was. And MaxPax says, well, I got you, Winter. Here's the strat. 3 gates. You know how in the low APM challenge you say the most important thing for any Protoss player is to get their tech as early as possible because that's how every Protoss build works? Well, you're an idiot. So, here we are. I believe you got a creep to me with that one. He always lets the Zerg... Well, Dark scout the main. So, Dark gets the Zerglings in again. And then he loses them to probes, which, like, is not the ideal use of those 2 Zerglings. MaxPax, though, a little distracted by his own Adept micro. Yeah, both of them kind of flailing all over the place in the early game here. It's not huge mistakes, but it's a whole bunch of little ones. And Twilight. We saw a Robo. He was flirting with a Robo for a sec there. Where's... No. What? Are you serious? Well... Alright, well... 2 more Zerglings. Sees the Twilight. Alright, Dark. Okay. Clean that up, cleaning bot. Why are you even here if you're not going to clean that up? To annoy you. And get in the way of your tech buildings. Ah, that's what I thought. Away we go. So the glaives are much later. This is a focus on just sheer adept count. With the glaives coming in later on. It's just a different way of going about a similar thing. We'll see if this early unit count is more effective than just pushing out the glaives first. Some fancy micro. The queens, do you cancel? No. Yeah, it's just waves upon waves of glaives. 50 shades with glaives. But the downside here, of course, is you don't have glaives. Yes, I know. And that means the Zerglings still have a shot of getting damage done. Already double star behind this. We're going with the Star Glaives build. which sounds very cool. And is the anti-muta strat. I expect Phoenixes. MaxPax might get a little crazy and go like Oracle or something. Void Rays are not useless, they're just a little more expensive now. Dark's only on 41 drones and his lair's not done. So, this is just... Oh, he missed too, but at the same time... Okay, I'm gonna give this one like a solid 7 out of 10. Because 7 out of 10 of his adepts just died. But the rest of the adepts got some damage to the drones. Actually, no, that was terrible. At first, it looked like it was a smart move, but then he didn't cancel the first shade, and now MaxPax has to desperately warp in adepts at a base that doesn't even have a shield battery. So yeah, losing all those adepts, not ideal. And the Phoenix count is not nearly high enough to fight the roaches yet. Taking down even a couple roaches. Yeah, that was the worst possible timing to lose your critical mass of adepts. There's no shield battery overcharge here. The Phoenixes will have to be revealed. They must be revealed. The only chance of holding this are some pickups to help negate all this damage. Alright, the shield battery needs to reshield the pylon, or otherwise it's gonna get depowered. Alright, he gets the pylon. Ravagers popped like particularly large balloons. Picking up some more roaches, but the adept count... Another confusingly slow-moving, yet indecisive fight. The Phoenixes need to drink a Red Bull or something. They're entirely out of energy. The Adepts... Alright, here comes Dark with some more Zerglings, which is just kind of the summary of this whole series. His economy is kind of terrible, though. So... yeah, the Nexus is bruised. MaxPax has 50 probes. There's a Nidus network on the way, because Dark realizes Phoenixes don't get worse over time. As they continue... Okay, who's flanking who here? Yeah, those are glaive adepts, but not enough of them. The queen count is starting to get a little suspicious. Queens cannot transfuse off a creep, but the Nidus network provides that little bit of extra creep now. Just enough to be able to transfuse it immediately. I think it's starting to get pretty obvious what's going on, but MaxPax is on the wrong side of the map. He'll probably recall the moment he hears the Nidus scream. So 3, 2, 1. Ah! Or not. Okay, he's gonna fly back. He's gonna kill the Ovies, which actually supply... Brenda! Is this how it ends? Probably! This match has been a disaster! I know, Susan. Now get in line! We need more creep! Everything hurts! What is the Phoenix count? It's higher than the Queen count. So that's gonna be an issue. So, I mean, he's building spores through the Nidus. I love it. Wait, why are you going back? Oh, he's hiding his Ravagers in the Nidus so they don't get picked up. Clever girl. Wait, where did he... Oh, he brought them back home to deal with the depths. That's why. Meanwhile, whatever the hell is happening here, Corrosive Biles, he actually cancels everything. Transfuses with the creep that's now at the front line. But the Ravager's got to get out of the way. This is the thickest Zerg army you could possibly have. The third base is vulnerable. Creep is kind of just out there. Also roaches involved. There's only one pylon. Throws up some Corrosive Bile. MaxPax is now contained in his own base. The Phoenixes picking off Ravagers. Corrosive Bile just shotgunning out there. Spray and pray. The Spore Crawler's closing in. The Nexus is still intact. Probes are dead. Dark, he's building more Queens. He can send them across via the Nidus network, or high-speed Nidus. There's charge on the way. MaxPax kills his own gateway just so he can get out of his damn base. Kill the damn Nexus. Oh my god. There's no blink. Some immortals. The Phoenixes still have a ton of energy, and overall, Dark's attack is starting to be whittled down here. MaxPax expands with what probes he has left on the other side. So, Dark decides he's gonna macro it out, which there are still a dozen Phoenixes on the field. So that was the most dramatic attack that didn't really change the situation at all. The problem is, there's nothing to contend with these Phoenixes. They're just gonna keep poking and prodding and lifting up whatever they can. And Queens, while they might be heavy, they're not heavy enough. They're still creep because no observer until now. So now what? Well, I'm sure both players kind of asking themselves that question. But you can just fight them though. I'm pretty sure the Phoenixes win this. The Phoenix is not so confident. It looks like neither player willing to risk it at this point. I would say MaxPax, especially with these Phoenixes, has the initiative. He can potentially just attack, though he might not realize how horrible Dark's economy is. There was barely any injects for a while. He's just now gotten past 50 drones, but that is enough to make things difficult. Well, here come the Phoenixes, nearly full on energy. Looking for any opportunity, picks up a queen. Does he have +1? No, but he has so many Phoenixes. The ground army looking for an opportunity. Roach, Ravager. A whole lot of it. A lot of queens. There are no upgrades for either side. No basic upgrades. Charge is done. Roach speed, glaives. Just some brute force armies here. Pathogen glands. Infestors definitely could be something. Or they could be a waste of money and time. We'll see. Dark has 1,200 gas in the bank. He's really banking on the festers, but he has to live in order to get there. Some charge lots in the main. Whittling down the drone count some more. He cancels pathogen glands. Were you running out of gas? I'm sorry, Dark. Like, he canceled it. I'm not entirely convinced that was a necessary move, but he pulls the drones. Where are you gonna go, though? Phoenix is on one side, charge lots on the other. Drones, the Archons, a lot of stuff is happening. Drones fighting Archons, not well known as a counter. A whole bunch of roaches. A lot of queens in purgatory right now. One Archon left, no Archon left. Recall, going for more. A lot of units left behind. Dark is going forward. Whoa, corrosive, about 37 drones. Dark has less than that left. All the queens are dead. The OVs will die. Is there enough energy to come clean the rest up? Well, one last desperate attack. If there was a Dark Shrine right now, I think the game would just end. I think any amount of immortals picks up. Dark has nothing left. MaxPax takes the series in. Yeah, well, that happened. A sloppy mess. But it is a win. MaxPax thrives in the sloppy mess. And that is going to be a win for him in this North American Open Cup. Hopefully you enjoyed my commentary. Like, subscribe, ring the bell. What do you think? Who's sloppier? Thank you for watching. See you next time. Good luck, have fun. Stay chill.